16 days into the month of February, the year 2015. Good afternoon and welcome to the afternoon edition. I am Mildred Tohaise. Women activists are demanding the 9th Parliament to pass the marriage and divorce bill before their term expires to serve women who are oppressed by their spouses, threatening not to vote them back into power if they do not heed to their call. To them, the bill is long overdue and has left majority of women at the mercy of their spouses with no rights to property. The bill was presented on the floor of Parliament in February 2013, debated, and about 20 clauses were passed, but the process was halted to allow members of Parliament to consult the public on the contentious clauses. Each member of Parliament was given 5 million shillings for consultations, but no report of the findings of the consultations has ever been presented in Parliament to guide further proceedings, and the women activists want the legislators to account for the taxpayers' money. The women are also pushing for gender-responsive constitution amendments in areas of representation by reducing the members of Parliament by having one man and one woman representing a district, political parties to allocate 40% of their budget to women leagues of their parties, and also review of the constituency size. Mixed reactions continue to come in to the constitutional amendments proposed by the National Resistance Movement Parliamentary Caucus that has been meeting in Chankwanzi. One of the controversial arguments agreed in is an amendment that would allow independent members of Parliament to cross to parties of their choice without being thrown out of Parliament. The NRM members of Parliament struck a deal with independent MPs to amend the constitution to allow MPs cross from one party to another without losing their MP status. Our crew was at the Chankwanzi closure and now reports.
Members have proposed changes, including a proposed constitutional amendment to allow independent members of Parliament cross to a part of their choice without losing their place in Parliament.
As independent members of Parliament, we've lobbied members. I personally moved the motion, which was adopted by the whole House, the whole caucus. So now, is when is it coming to the House?
They came up with a proposal that if constitutionally they would be allowed to go whatever party they want within 1 year to the end of the term. But we agreed on the principle. What is left is to discuss on the time frame and also the modalities, because they brought it as members of their small team.
The caucus also wants the way soldiers under Operation Create Wealth operate to allow benefits reach the lowest rural communities so that they do not miss out in agricultural activities to fight poverty. It is here that President Museveni re-echoed his call to Ugandans to engage in farming.
Unless we ourselves have an internal arrangement where we have what we call price stabilization fund, which works by when the prices are high, you deduct a few shillings from what you pay the farmers and you put it in a fund. And when the prices are down, you get from the other fund and you top up this price.
Leaders, the members of Parliament, the LC5 chairpersons and councillors must inform the media of what is happening, what they have. And we also disagreed that whoever is to be given should be first trained. We should not overassume, because we have had instances where you find some people are given, let me talk of the zero grazing animals, but they are not trained.
Party members will also not be allowed to campaign before the official campaign time, and if they are discovered, members will be stopped from competing in the party primaries.
Members of NRM, at whatever level, whatever post you want, those who are campaigning, before we have declared the time of campaigning, please respect the rules. You are not supposed to campaign by now. And I warn you, as a Secretary General, please stop. Because if you continue, you stand you might be disqualified.
Members, however, deny reports making the rounds that they agree to remove the age limit for one to contest for presidency.
The issue of age limit is not anywhere, and it has not been anywhere on our agenda. Okay? It's those, why the anti-NRM critics have failed to be believed by the public is that they want to set their own propaganda and put on NRM. Nobody has proposed to change the age limit. Nobody had proposed or has proposed to extend parliament.
Our president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is within age. The constitution is very, very clear who is eligible to be the president of Uganda. And for anyone to start speculating that we want to amend the presidential age limit so as to allow President Yoweri Museveni to contest in the next election, the person is a daydreamer. Such a person is a detractor.
The one-week retreat was meant to have the party members of parliament assess the implementation of the 2011 manifesto, as well as plan for the forthcoming general elections of 2016.
Away from Chankwazi to issues relating to food security, now communities have been mobilized in northern Uganda towards production under two government programs that have run one after the other: Northern Uganda Social Action Fund 1 and NUSAF 2. These two programs and others have made the population from the north to produce more than enough, assuring the masses of food security and economic empowerment. However, the population here is still constrained with post-harvesting handling challenges that has left many of them with no alternative except to continue keeping the produce in traditional granaries.
Kabeno village in Awere sub-county in Padel district is where you find Euren Odrell, one of the agriculturists engaged in a number of cereal production with his wife and the entire family. Odrell produces cereals including beans, sorghum and groundnuts, but his main challenge, together with his family, has remained post-harvest handling. According to Odrell, when cereals are harvested from the farm fields, drying is done on bare land, increasing the risk of the produce getting exported, and this is where the problem begins to emerge. This only granary has remained Odrell's storage facility for years, and due to its capacity, most of the produce is put in sacks and kept in the house.
Those insects is concentrated on what spoiling on sorghum and maize. But Simsim is free.
To him and the entire population here, traditional granaries not only expose cereals to pests, but they are also not secure, and thieves can pick storage from them without any hassle.
In this area, they are of my age. So, there is a need of assistance.
According to Odrell, one can think that communities here want to preserve culture, but this is not possible in this challenging world.
Most of the people in this area, they are of my age. So, there is a need of assistance.
Farmers here want cooperative societies revived to which they can lean for credit so that they can expand in the future. This as they received a modern storage facility worth 100 million shillings courtesy of Action Aid with value addition grinding machinery that will enable farmers here to add value to ground nuts for good market prices.
We sank a lot of money in this, close to slightly over 100 million, and we will not wish to see it underutilized. And the utilization, all the factors are here. If the rain is the rainfall is adequate, the land is fertile. All we need is labor and change of attitude so that the community can work themselves out of the current abject poverty there.
From this, we are going to encourage them to brand, levels, and sell it elsewhere. There are a number of groups who have already prospered in this kind of arrangement, especially for annies. So I'm very sure in the same manner, our departments of production will give them all the support. The market is there.
To the district chairman, Alfred Akena, the proposed PRDP3 for the region should focus on such challenging aspects for transformation and encouraging the population, especially the young ones, towards production.
Elsewhere in the world, Egypt says it has bombed Islamic State targets in Libya hours after the group published a video showing the apparent beheadings of 21 Egyptian Christians. State TV said the dawn strikes had targeted camps, training sites and weapon storage areas. It did not give further details, but witnesses reported airstrikes in the port city of Dana held by militants.
A pre-dawn operation